My name is Aubrie. I am a registered nurse at the Victoria General Hospital Emergency Department. I've got two boys, AJ and Ivan. AJ just turned 6 and Ivan's turning 5 in January. Not long after my second son was born, I had this pain in my throat. I went to my doctor a couple times. Eventually she did a more thorough exam and noticed a big lesion on my tongue. She put me on a list to see an ENT, and he looked at my throat. He touched the lesion, and he said he was about 99% sure that it was cancer. The MRI and the biopsy came back showing a salivary gland cancer. I remember sitting in that chair and feeling kind of this outer body experience. Why would I have cancer? I mean, it just makes no sense. And then, of course, the knowledge behind what tongue cancer can look like for me was terrifying. It's a very deforming surgery. They'll have flaps from their leg put onto their tongue, can't swallow, can't talk, tracheostomies, drains coming out of everywhere, feeding tubes, life-changing. So the ENT kind of gave me a little bit of an idea that there's this surgeon in Vancouver who's doing this procedure. It's a robotic surgery. I had never heard of it before.
At the Vancouver General Hospital, we treat the vast majority of the oncology cases in the province. Aubrie's case is very different. She had a saliva gland type of cancer. That in and of itself is very rare. It's not in the front part of the mouth. It's all the way in the way back of the tongue, which makes surgical options much more challenging for her. A combination of her young age, her good health, and the position and location of this tumor, and most importantly, the type of tumor that this is the perfect application of the robot.
So I came over to Vancouver with my husband, and we met with Dr. Prisman. He explained the procedure to us. He talked about the robot itself.
Gives you unprecedented visualization with a very limited access. We can put the endoscope right to the back of the throat, and we can visualize the cancer.
I got a phone call. We're going to get you in on Monday. I remember I burst into tears because this was actually happening now, and but I was scared. I said goodbye to my kids. That was hard. And we came over. Dr. Prisman came and he sat on my bed and he talked me through it all again. And that was it.
You bring the robot and assemble it right on top of the mouth. And then the surgery takes place with a surgeon sitting at the console of the robot and manipulating all the instruments of the robot to remove the tumor.
The robot has maneuverability with its wristed instruments that allow us to do intricate movements inside very tight parts of the body.
So because it has a binocular telescope, we get three-dimensional viewing of, or imaging of our operative field. It's really crazy technology, for sure.
I remember waking up in the recovery room, and I remember feeling for my neck to see if I had a trach or not, and I didn't. In my haze of anesthesia and all that, I do remember feeling so relieved.
Cancer is a very evolving field. Our approaches to cancer surgery have evolved significantly over the last 30, 40 years. Without philanthropy, we wouldn't have the robot here. These are patients that, in my opinion, have done so well with the robot technology.
I was up and walking that night. I was not in any way disfigured. I could speak, I could swallow, I could communicate. It was quite miraculous. It was amazing. I am so grateful that that's how it turned out.
The challenge with the robot is that it's a very expensive piece of equipment and goes beyond the budgets of our hospitals.
When we get the opportunity to not only cure the cancer, but to do it with the least amount of side effects and see our patients come back and return to normal function, those things are priceless.
So we are entirely dependent on donors for these types of groundbreaking technologies, which are very expensive.
I believe that we need robots in multiple rooms for multiple procedures by multiple specialties, and this can only be done with the generosity of the donors to our foundation.
I feel like I represent how beneficial this technology actually is to people. It's absolutely essential to have private donations to help support that.